Yes, YouTube, welcome back again. Are you ready for my top 10 altcoins that will go crazy? I'm talking about 10x, 20x, 40x, 50x, I show you some fundamentals on the screen, but most of you guys know me about the technicals, right? The technicals tell me everything. If you want to know the fundamentals, you can do your research on this token yourself. I'm not going to explain you all these things. I'm a trader, I'm a day trader. I can show you where my prediction goes for these altcoins. We start with 10 and we go to 1, right? I'm talking about crazy pumping tokens actually. So as that said, guys, let's go to the chart. So as you guys can see, we're watching at the grab to USDT at the moment, and what you can see is that we made an SR flip here on this descending resistance line, right? That becomes support now at this moment. So what you can see actually is that the grab looks a little bit like Ethereum, right? This is a very cheap token. As you guys can see, we're crazy discount, still in a crazy discount. BTC made a reversal on 74k, somewhere around the weekly 786, I thought, from what I did the last days, right? But for now, my prediction for the grab is actually as follow, because if you see here, you can see also this inverted head and shoulders, right? So what we can do is we can just draw a trend line there to create a neckline. And what you actually can do to predict all-time high for a token like this is actually just to draw a line from the top to the neckline, and you just drag it on the neckline. So that means actually that we can expect a price target for the grab somewhere around let's say $3.9 actually, right? That's a crazy gain from where we are now. So remember, guys, BTC is still dominant, but once altcoin start becoming dominant and starts pumping, sky is the limit. So first, the grab, what we can expect for the grab is, let's say almost 3.8 thousand% from here on, right? This is based on spot trading. You can trade this one also with leverage. The links are in description. You can trade on WEEX, you can trade on MEXC. I'm an ambassador for both exchanges, so if you want to trade with crazy discounts on your fees, or if you want to receive free USDT, the links are in description, right? So let's go to the next one. The next one is actually VeChain. VeChain shows also very potential price action at the moment. Is what you can see is that we found support again, right? This was resistance, and we're still following the support line actually. The thing is here, it's a little bit difficult to predict where we go. It doesn't mean that there's a lot of potential for this token, but you can see this inverted head and shoulders that failed actually, but it doesn't mean that you cannot use it as a price target, right? So what you can do is you can just draw a line here, and once we break out of this neckline of this inverted head and shoulders, you can predict your target for VeChain, and there's a high possibility that VeChain goes to 13 cents, right? So that's a gain of, let's say that we're retesting this neckline again and that we find support here. So let's do a price target from here. That's all let's say 500%, right? So keep that in mind. VeChain. Next one is KuCoin. KuCoin is a very new token actually, but it's famous because it's ultra fast, right? It's very difficult also to predict where this thing can go actually, because this is a little bit weird price action. But let's say that this is a falling wedge or a sort of bull flag, how you want to call it actually. The thing is that we are floating between in this sort of channel, right? But if you want to to treat this as a bull flag, actually, you can take the pull, and let's take the pull and let's drag it on the top of this channel. Actually, what's now resistance, this needs to become support. You know, the thing is actually once this thing starts pumping and we break out of this resistance, then it can go very fast because there's nothing left anymore, right? So let's go to all-time high. So there's a potential target of $20 actually for Kaspa from this moment. You know, there's also a possibility that this is the pull. So you can measure this from two different dimensions actually. And that should take us to a level of 2.35, that's for sure. So that's a gain of 2000%. That's crazy actually, you know, 2000%, 2100%, or more crazy 17,000%. But let's keep it to this one, right? The thing is actually once altcoin season starts ripping and all these altcoins starts pumping, then, you know, sky is the limit actually for all these tokens. So next one is near, you know. Near looks very bullish actually because you can see that we're retesting the 786 here, right? Again. So what you can expect actually after retracement on the 786 is that near will go to the 400 Fibonacci extension. That's actually $39. That's crazy price action, you know, guys. Again, Fibonacci very accurate, and expect crazy things. 1500% for this token, you know. Do your own research about the fundamentals about these tokens, but I can tell you these things will rip actually, you know. And once you retrace the 786 like what you did here, you can see what kind of pump we made in 2023, right? So again, guys, if you like this content, please subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell. Let's see if we can get this video to 50 likes, you know. Let's make an all-time high on this video, and let's go on to the next one. Polkadot, same situation, crazy discount. What you can see here on Polkadot is that we are actually at launch price again, you know. The thing is with Polkadot is that it's a very old token actually, and you could see this double top came to $56. It's now trading at $4.1 actually. So what you want to see, this is also sort of inverted head and shoulders. So what you can do is you can just draw a neckline here to see this inverted head and shoulder, the head and the shoulder. So what you can do is you can just draw a new potential target line from the head, the top of the head to the neckline, to drag it above. And what you can see here actually is that there's a high possibility for a potential target for Polkadot of $32 actually, right? I think it also fits with the 786 on this one, or it's the 618. So there's a high possibility that Polkadot will fly to the moon also, you know. Let's see what we can make here actually from here on. 670%. Do your own research about the fundamentals, but the technical says everything, right? Let's go to the next one. AVAX, same situation. AVAX retraced the 786. So next potential target, Fibonacci 400% extension. That means that there's a high possibility that AVAX goes to $273 dollars actually, you know. There's a potential target for a potential return ROI of 1200% from here on, right? The thing is, actually, you can see that this is also sort of cup and handle. So what you also can do with this cup and handles, you can draw a line here. And what you want to see is that once price action is above this resistance line again, you drag it on the top of this resistance line to predict your target, right? So it's still a high chance that we go somewhere like $200. So you have two types of targets actually, you know. I'm always aiming for Fibonacci 400% extension because if you backtest this is the most respected Fibonacci level when it comes to all-time high targets, right? So crazy potential for AVAX, you know, stay tuned and let's go to the next one. Chain link actually. What you can see on chain link very clearly is that we're creating a sort of inverted head and shoulders on the weekly time frame, right? So what you want to do, you want to drag again a neckline here. You can also see this as a sort of cup and handle. The thing is actually, again, what you do is you draw a target line or a potential target line from the bottom to this resistance line to drag it again above this resistance line that needs to become support. And what's very interesting, I think, here is that it fits with our Fibonacci extension 400%, right? Is that true? No, not really. There's also a difference like with AVAX, but you know, let's draw two horizontal lines to predict 2 times the target, right? So first target 400% to play it safe actually. Second target 743%. So again, chain link, very potential, get ready, inverted head and shoulders, cup and handle, how you want to call it, you know, trading to Fibonacci 400 extension. So as that said, guys, let's go to XRP. You know, the thing is with XRP, be careful, you know, it's a banker coin. It means that there's a lot of tokens that are owned by Ripple, right? And of course, bankers, they invested. The thing is actually, you know, just be careful with XRP because a lot of technicals or analysts, they think that XRP can be a very, very big rug pull actually. And a lot of people think I'm talking bullshit now actually, but you know, just be careful. You see this inverted head and shoulders or this W pattern, what you can do on this W pattern, same situation what we always do. We draw a target line, we drag it on this resistance that needs to become support, and we can just measure our potential target line here. So that's 1000% extra for XRP. There's a possibility that XRP can go to $26, right? So again, you know, do your research. You know, you can trade this on leverage in the links down below. MEXC, WEEX, you know, MEXC lowest fees, WEEX free USDTs. But be careful with spot trading on XRP. So the next one, the second in my top 10 actually is Cardano. You know, why Cardano? Inverted head and shoulders, actually retracement on the 786 here, or the 618, I think 618. And what you can see is that we're creating a sort of inverted head and shoulders again. So what you do again is you draw this resistance line, inverted head and shoulders. You want to predict your target. Once price becomes once this resistance line becomes support again, right? Let's see that we break. Let's see if we break this 786 to predict our target for Cardano. Again, price action, price target prediction, excuse me. You know, guys, this is actually new for me. Usually I only do advanced technical analysis on BTC, but I see this kind of videos are very popular. So I just want to show you easy TA, how to predict actually all-time high price action for my top 10 altcoins, right? Why I chose these altcoins, actually because I know there's a lot of liquidity behind it. There are big communities behind it. They all have utility, you know, no bullshit, no rug pulls, and the only danger coin actually in this top 10 is XRP. But you know, again, you can trade it in this altcoin season to make a lot of money, and you know, that's it actually. So again, you know, Cardano price target $5.72 actually. You know, that's a gain of 720% from here on. And now my top one, actually my number one of my top 10, that's Solana. And why Solana? Because we know Solana has a lot of potential. Actually, go research your own info about the fundamentals about Solana. But based on price action, you can see that Solana looks very promising from here on. You know, again, cup and handle on the weekly time frame. Don't forget that all this TA I showed you guys is on the weekly time frame. So it's crazy actually, you know, crazy bullish patterns on the weekly time frame. So again, guys, you know, if you want to predict your target cup and handle, actually I want to drag this one a little bit lower because I want to see this here in SR flip, that resistance needs to become support, and from here on you can drag your target line. Wait, we have to pull this a little bit lower. Your target line on your resistance line that needs to become support. Again, you know, draw your horizontal line, and let's see what we can expect from here on. 2500% for Solana. You know, that's why Solana is on my number one. I know there's a crazy liquidity behind it, crazy community. They have good fundamentals, you know, low cost transactions, very, very fast. You know, again, the technical says a lot. And let's make some money together the coming time, right? Thanks again for watching. You know, if you like my content, please like and subscribe to my channel, you know, share it with your friends. And if you want to trade these tokens, the links are in description, and get your bonuses. And remember, actually, it's easy to make money in a bull market, but once we are heading to bear market or we have major pullbacks, you know, be careful with trading, especially when you leverage trade. You know, only put in what you can afford to lose, because trading is not for everyone and can be very difficult actually, you know. And I don't want you guys to lose money, only to make money. You know, guys, be careful with trading. If you don't know what you're doing, you can lose a lot of money. You know, this is only based on what I'm expecting here. You know, if you don't know what you're doing with leverage trading, just buy spot, you know, buy assets and leave them there, because that's the most easiest way to make money in this coming season. You know, with that said, guys, I thank you all for watching. Stay safe, make profits, and God bless you all. See you in my next video.
time.